So for those who was their first time tonight, welcome to the practice of kirtan meditation, where we meditate our mind and we rest our heart on these sacred, transcendental, meaning they transcend this material realm, these spiritual mantras. Now the mantras that we sing are all names of the Supreme Person, names of God. And they represent different qualities of the Supreme Person. For example, the name Krishna means that God is all attractive and all lovable. We're not talking about someone who is they're judging whether we're doing good things or bad things and whether we, go to a good place or a bad place, and that we should be afraid of. We're talking about someone who is all attractive, all kind, all loving, sweet, and who is our best friend and our eternal well-wisher. So we're a spiritual being on the inside. We are covered by this body, this temporary body that we're wearing, and a temporary material mind, all the false ego, the desires, the thoughts, the emotions, everything. These are both temporary coverings of the eternal spiritual being, the spark of the Supreme Being, the child of God. And so for us to be actually happy and to be have real purpose and satisfaction, we can't find that in this material world, in these material things. We need a spiritual connection. We need spiritual love to really satisfy us in the core of our heart. And that relationship with the Supreme Person, with Krishna, is what our heart is longing for. It is an eternal relationship that we already have in our heart. We already have that established. It is just covered over by our material conditioning, by our time in this world and all the mind stuff and the false ego falsely identifying with this body and, the mind. But that relationship is already in our heart. It just needs to be uncovered. And this process of kirtan meditation, where we are chanting and meditating on these mantras, on these names of the Supreme Being, they wash away these layers of conditioning and they allow that relationship to become awakened, to become re-established. And so people come to meditation for different reasons. People come for relaxation, for stress relief, for dealing with anxiety, depression, for a spiritual nourishment, maybe for some deeper philosophical ideas. And I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about what it means to love and serve the Supreme Being, what it means to love and serve Krishna. We had a question recently, someone asked this just last week, and I thought it was it's a really wonderful topic and a really important topic to know, and maybe it doesn't seem that relevant in your life right now, but it's interesting to hear, so I'll share a little bit about that tonight. And so one of our core teachings in the Bhakti Yoga tradition and this yoga practice that we're doing is love for the Supreme Being, love for God. But how do we love God? How do we love the Supreme Person? And how do we serve Him? Because love and service is intertwined. When I use the word service, I'm not meaning like a slave serves their master because they're afraid of being punished or they, need to get some money. I'm talking about loving service, like a parent will make great sacrifices for their child. They will do so much to try and please and show their love for their child. And we will make efforts to please our friends, our loved ones. And we are always engaging in service of some kind. So we're talking about loving service here. But who is the Supreme Person? How do we know Him? How do we know Him so that we can love Him and we can serve Him? And the Supreme Person, Krishna, can't be known by our mind. Our mind is material, and the Krishna is not material. Our mind is limited, and Krishna is unlimited. God is unlimited. We're talking about the one Supreme Person, the original cause of all causes. We can call Him by many different names. Many different traditions in the world call Him by different names. But I like to use the name Krishna because it means the all-attractive, and it is a very beautiful and personal name. So we can't know Krishna by the power of our mind. We need to, if we have a desire to know who He is, and we make some effort, with our meditation practice and trying to learn a little about Him, and we have some sincere desire to learn who Krishna is and how I can have a relationship with the Supreme Person, He will reveal Himself to me in good time. When as it is, so as we desire to know Him, He will reveal Himself to me, and we can learn about Him. We can learn about His names, about His form, and about His qualities from the great spiritual texts, from the spiritual teachers and sages who have come before us and who have teach us. Here, this is who the Supreme Being is. We can learn about His names, His form, His qualities. We can read His words in the sacred and ancient and wonderful Bhagavad Gita, where He gives instructions on coming on a spiritual path, on coming to know Him. So there's different ways that we can learn to know Him, and He will reveal Himself to us. And so Krishna has stated, and the great spiritual teachers have stated, that one of the most pleasing things that we can do for Krishna is to sing His names, to glorify Him, to praise Him, to meditate upon His names. And so this practice of meditation, of this kirtan meditation, this chanting, yes, it is relaxing and calming, and it is cleansing away layers of conditioning so we can have more clarity and more insight. But it is also very pleasing to the Supreme Person, to Krishna. And when Krishna is pleased with us, we automatically experience happiness from inside. And so the more we sing, the more we chant His names with love, the more He is pleased, and the more we experience happiness. And it just grows and grows from there. We can also make some offering to Krishna, to God. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that one can offer me with love and devotion a little water, a fruit, a flower, and I will accept it. So you may offer some fruits to Krishna in the morning, acknowledging that He is the owner and controller of everything. But in an attempt to come closer to Him, I can make a small offering and remember Him with love. And of course, another thing that we can do to be of service and to be pleasing to God is to be kind to others, to be compassionate to others, to care for others, and to be of service to others. Because we're all sparks of the Supreme Being. We're all children of God. And when we are caring for His children, He is pleased. And I'm sure we've all experienced that. We've done something nice for someone else, not wanting something in return, not with condition, but just doing something kind and nice. We experience satisfaction inside, we experience purpose, we experience happiness. And that is because Krishna is actually pleased with us for caring for his children. And so here are three really nice and simple and beautiful ways that we can be pleasing to the Supreme Person, that we can be of service to the Supreme Person. And this will help us re-establish this relationship. And when we re-establish this relationship of love, it will bring us the happiness that we seek. It will bring us the peace and the satisfaction that we can't gain in this world, that we can't gain through material things, this temporary world. Yes, there is happiness and joy in this world. We can experience pleasure, but it was temporary. It doesn't last. Whereas this spiritual happiness of this relationship with the Supreme Being is eternal. It'll stay with us in our heart. And so I encourage you to bring these mantras into your life. Like we get together here and we chant together. That's so wonderful. And you can also bring these mantras into your daily meditation practice with the beads or with the breath. And, you know, when you can, making a simple offering, there's lots of flowers growing in my yard, and so every day I offer some flowers to Krishna. And then being of service, finding ways that you can be of service and be kind and compassionate to others, volunteering, whatever it may be. And our relationship with the Supreme Person will grow, will blossom, we'll experience clarity and insights, how to navigate the world and how to navigate relationships and things in this world. And when we come to the end of this life, to the end of this journey, we will have established an eternal, we will have re-established that eternal relationship with God. And so we can leave this temporary body and this temporary situation without fear, knowing that we can go back to our original source. We can go back to the spiritual world, a place with no fear and no anxiety, no troubles, only happiness and bliss. And so take these mantras into your life, experience the relaxation they bring, the clarity they bring, and remember that these are names of the Supreme Person. They are non-different than the Supreme Person. They are of the same quality. I actually have a quote to read here. This is from the Padma Purana. There is no difference between the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself. As such, the holy name is as perfect as the Lord himself, in fullness, purity, and eternality. The holy name is no material sound vibration, nor has it any material contamination. And another quote here. Anyone who is engaged in chanting my transcendental, this is actually from Krishna speaking to Arjuna. Anyone who is engaged in chanting my transcendental names must be considered to be always associating with me. And I tell you that for such a person, I become easily purchased. So Krishna tells us there, this is the secret, chanting his names, and we can attract Krishna, attract his love to us by chanting his names. Namaste. Thank you very much.